Welcome, builders. In a world where new AI agents are launching literally every single day, the bar for what's considered successful is just getting higher and higher. So today, we're not just talking about building agents that work, we're going to dive into the blueprint for building agents that actually win.
So let me ask you this, straight up. Is the AI agent you're working on right now just good, or is it great? I mean, what's really the difference between an agent that kind of works and one that completely transforms the workflow?
Well, that leap from good to great, it isn't some kind of magic. It's engineering. And the blueprint we're sharing today is built around the most critical, and honestly, the most often overlooked tool you have, a rock-solid evaluation strategy. It's the compass that guides every single decision you make.
So, our blueprint has 5 main stages. First, we'll set our compass. Then, we'll choose the right metrics, the ones that actually tell a story. From there, we'll power up the feedback engine, build a solid foundation of trust, and finally, lock in a cycle of continuous improvement. Let's dive in.
First up, the evaluation compass. Probably the biggest mistake I see teams make is treating evaluation like it's some kind of final exam for their agent. We've got to reframe that. Think of it as your strategic compass, the tool that's guiding every decision right from day one.
A strong evaluation strategy isn't about collecting a bunch of data points for a report. It's about turning that data into real decisions, and more importantly, turning those decisions into outcomes that create actual business value. It's the bridge that connects your tech to your bottom line.
Okay, so what does this compass point to? Well, it points to a balanced set of what I call true north metrics. Of course, you need the technical stuff like task success rate and latency, but you also absolutely need the human and business signals, things like user satisfaction and adoption rates. The key is connecting all of them. A 10-millisecond improvement in latency is just a number until you can show how it improves user satisfaction and drives retention. That connection is what keeps everyone, from the engineers to the execs, totally aligned.
All right, let's move to our second section. With our compass set, it's time to choose our building materials. This is all about picking the right metrics. Metrics that don't just spit out a number, but actually tell you a meaningful story.
This is one of the most common traps out there. On one side, you've got your vanity metrics. A classic example is total queries processed. It's a big number, it looks great on a dashboard, but it tells you nothing about success. On the other side, you have impact metrics, like the percentage of queries resolved without any human intervention. That number tells you if your agent is actually solving problems and creating value. So, the takeaway? Always build for impact, not for vanity.
And a great evaluation story always needs balance. You've got your quantitative signals, the hard numbers like accuracy and task completion, but you have to balance those with your qualitative signals, the human insights you get from user feedback, surveys, and session analysis. An agent can have 99% accuracy, but if users find it frustrating or untrustworthy, it's failed. The numbers tell you what happened. The human insights tell you why.
Okay, on to section 3. Now it's time to assemble the core of our machine. This is all about powering the feedback engine. If your strategy is the compass, then continuous feedback is the engine that's actually going to drive your agent forward.
Every engine needs fuel, right? And for your agent, that fuel is feedback. It comes from 2 super critical sources: your expert operators, who are in the weeds with this stuff every single day, and your real end users. The magic happens when you combine these perspectives, turning their insights into a constant stream of small, iterative improvements.
The process itself is a simple but really powerful 4-step loop. You gather insights from your users, you translate that feedback into concrete changes, you implement the quick wins first to build momentum, and then you just let those small improvements compound over time. This isn't about one big flashy launch. It's about the incredible power of consistent, incremental progress.
Let's move to a part of the blueprint that is absolutely 100% non-negotiable: building a foundation of trust. This is not an optional feature. This is the structural foundation and the safety guardrails for everything you're building. Trust is built on 3 pillars. First, robustness. Does your agent break when it encounters unexpected inputs? You have to test the edge cases, not just the happy path. Second, fairness. Is it giving consistent and unbiased responses to all your users? You have to actively hunt for and mitigate bias. And third, safety. Are there clear guardrails to prevent harmful or inappropriate outcomes? Without these, even a highly accurate agent is gonna fail. So, why is this so critical? Why obsess over this?
Because a trustworthy agent is an agent people will actually use. They'll rely on it, they'll advocate for it. All that hard work on robustness, fairness, and safety pays off in the most important metric of all, user adoption.
All right, let's bring it all together with the final part of our blueprint, making this a living, breathing process. This is the continuous improvement loop. Because here's the secret, the work is never truly done.
The process is a simple, repeatable analytic loop. You form a hypothesis, and you plan a test. You run the test against your metrics. You learn from both the quantitative and the qualitative results, and then you adapt the agent based on that learning. Every single turn of this cycle isn't about pass or fail. It's a new layer of intelligence that makes your agent and your business smarter.
So let me leave you with one final, crucial piece of advice for putting all this into practice, especially when you're talking to stakeholders. Stop presenting scoreboards. Start telling stories.
What does that actually mean? It means you have to be the translator. Don't just show a chart where accuracy went up by 3%. No, explain that the 3% accuracy improvement directly led to a 15% reduction in manual escalations. When stakeholders can see how your numbers map to their outcomes, that's when you get true alignment. It's a simple formula. Clarity plus transparency equals trust.
So I'll leave you with this question to take back to your team. Looking at this whole blueprint, what is the one tweak you can make to your evaluation process this quarter that will start moving your agent from just good to truly great? Go build it.